Hello everybody, Jake, your resident content cowboy here. Yeehaw! And it's been a little while since I've done a guide for Gengar, quite a while actually. So I wanted to make an updated best build guide for this Pokemon. Ideally, this will be a little shorter than some of my videos, but who knows, I'm sure I'll just blather on for a while. I'm trying to keep it concise, but I just want to give you my opinions on the best builds currently for Gengar. Let me pull them up. Hi, Spacesuit Gengar. This is a very common item setup that you'll see, and in fact, let's talk about held items right now while we're on the subject. Score Shield, Choice Specs, Focus Band. I saw this item setup on UniteDB.com, and I tried it out for a few matches. I like this because if you're in lane with Gengar, you need to have a Score Shield at times, or you're not able to get a lot of points early. I also like this because a Focus Band actually puts you in a great position to finish off enemies. Oftentimes with Gengar, you either burst them down right away and they're gone, you just walk up to a Cinderace and completely dust it, or something's left with just enough HP like a Venusaur or something like that to fight back. I think a Focus Band is a great choice because of that. Choice Specs also, when you do hit with your ability, you get that extra burst of damage. It's nice. Let me show you some other items that I also really like running on Gengar. I really like running Shell Bell from time to time. I think this item doesn't work as well as I'd like it to, especially because sometimes Shell Bell's healing will activate when you already have full health. Because of that, I often don't run it, but from time to time, I do feel like Shell Bell's pretty fun. I also like Special Attack Specs. If you have a focus on scoring, this does increase your damage output a decent amount. I could see you perhaps dropping Choice Specs or this Score Shield and just saying, I'm going to score whenever I can, possibly without a Score Shield, and I'm going to use Choice Specs. Another item that works pretty well is the Energy Amplifier. When you use Gengar's Unite move, you have a long period of time where you're kind of invisible, so kind of invisible to the enemy, although I usually don't spend too much of it invisible. So this just helps that charge and it increases your damage. I will be honest, I'm not positive if it increases its damage right once you become invisible or after you already burst out of the ground. So that I'm actually not positive on. Other than that, I mean, those are the big ones for me. So I think this is a decent setup. I also like Special Attack Specs. I also like an Energy Amp. Maybe a Buddy Barrier, but it doesn't feel that necessary on a Pokemon like Gengar. Okay, let's head on over and talk about Gengar's moveset. So Gengar really focuses on one moveset right now. I honestly think the old build Sludge Bomb Hex, I've tried it a decent amount. It really doesn't compare. The cooldown on Shadow Ball is very low, and with Dream Eater, you reset that cooldown and do a ton of damage. This is the high single target burst damage build. It is what you want to play with Gengar, in my opinion. And I'll show you a video here in a little bit of how to use that most effectively. Then Gengar's Unite move actually pairs with that really well. You can use Gengar's Unite move, position yourself in a way where you're able to hit with sort of your combo. There's a combo to Shadow Ball Dream Eater that works really well, and then you're also able to use your Unite out of that. So Shadow Ball Dream Eater for sure is the moveset I would recommend right now, and I will take you into a match. I'll show you some gameplay actually of how to use this combo effectively. Maybe actually I'll take you into a practice round first. Okay, here I am in practice mode. I just wanted to show you a couple things with Gengar really quick. One, this is something people keep telling me about. It's how to get over the wall if you're going to the jungle. Now, if you're anything like me, everyone's going to fight you over jungle every game, so I've actually been playing a lot of Gengar in the lane. But if you want to get over this wall right at the beginning of the map and you don't want to use your eject button, you can actually do that by basic attacking. Well, I guess this one's attacking the late bomb. You can basic attack over here in your base. Once you have your boosted attack, you can actually use that to just go right over the wall. So it's just a little way to head over the wall instead of actually using your eject button to pop over the wall. Cool? Cool. Now I want to talk to you really quickly just about Gengar's abilities and his combo. Dream Eater and Shadow Ball, again, is what I would recommend using on Gengar. I think it does the most damage. What is Charizard is counter jungling me. Get out of here, practice partner. So in against this little dummy right here, I'm just going to show you the combo. A lot of people start, and I was starting with Shadow Ball. So you'd throw your Shadow Ball, maybe miss. Then you'd throw your Dream Eater, and if you hit your Dream Eater again, it would reduce the cooldown of Shadow Ball, which is all well and good. However, I think there's an easier way to hit most people with your moves. And that is to start not with Shadow Ball, but to start with Dream Eater. It gives you a boosted attack, and then you can hit them with Shadow Ball right away. Dream Eater again, your Shadow Ball is back up, and you have another boosted attack. So you can kind of do that in any order you want. If you want to hit Shadow Ball easiest, you would Dream Eater, Shadow Ball, boosted attack, Dream Eater, Shadow Ball, boosted attack. That would give you the best chances of hitting an enemy. Because sometimes you'll notice if you just are slightly off, well, of course I nail it when I try to show you this. If you're just slightly off with Shadow Ball, it can miss. So a nice way to make sure you hit your Shadow Balls and to really make sure that you're going to assassinate the target you want is to first hit that Dream Eater. Once they're asleep, you can then hit them with Shadow Ball, Dream Eater again, Shadow Ball, and then again the boosted attacks throughout that. So as soon as you hit with each Dream Eater, it's Dream Eater, Shadow Ball, boosted attack, Dream Eater, boosted attack, Shadow Ball. You can do it in any kind of order you want like that, but each Dream Eater gives you a boosted attack, and hitting someone with Dream Eater just makes it easier to hit Shadow Ball. If you don't do anything else, you can just hit them with Dream Eaters and Shadow Balls, but throwing those boosted attacks in there do a ton of damage. Something else to notice is how your Unite move works. So when I use my Unite move, I'm right now invisible to the enemies. They know I'm around, but I can actually start attacking. I'm still in my Unite technically, but I am attacking the enemy. For the sake of this, let me just turn off, not on the scoreboard, Jake, you are not smart. Let me just turn off move cooldowns just so you can see. If I use my Unite, I'm invisible, but I can hit someone with a Dream Eater, Shadow Ball, Dream Eater, and then still use my Unite move. So I think that's a very strong way to use your Unite. Yes, you lose your invisibility. As soon as you pop up, they can see you, but for a little while, you can position yourself very, very well. So if this Charizard was a real enemy, I could run towards this Char, get a good position on it, and then boom, hit him with the Dream Eater, you know? And then of course he's going to Unite me and KO me because he's Charizard. But you get the idea of what I'm trying to show you here. So even though it's nice to be invisible, it's actually better to just set up something in this moment when you're invisible, and then when you're around the enemy, hit him with the Dream Eater, boosted attack, Shadow Ball, Dream Eater, boosted attack, Shadow Ball, and then boom, you can still hit with your Unite. Battle item wise, I think you would be hard pressed to not run eject button on Gengar because he doesn't have a ton of mobility. Otherwise, I think some other options would be full heal, possibly X speed or X attack, but without a dash already, I really like giving Pokemon the ability to escape or engage in a situation. So I personally like eject button. And since this is that part of the video, we are at the battle items, I am going to ask you a question. It's question time. Question time, sound I'm assuming effect. There's something playing. My question to you is, who's your favorite ghost type Pokemon? Let me know in the comments. Mine? Delmise. Shh. Why'd I say it like that? Now on to some Gengar gameplay. You can see here, even against a really strong opponent like a Snorlax, if you hit them with your combo, you can still definitely take them down. And someone else here like Machamp, if you are in a position to just over and over hit enemies with your combo, they are going down. So what are some good situations to do that in? Well, first of all, you want to be Gengar if you can. Gengar is really strong when it's Gengar, not very strong when it's Gasoline, okay when it's Haunter, because when it's Haunter, you at least get Shadow Ball. I think you really don't become strong until you get Shadow Ball. Once you have Shadow Ball, you're actually pretty formidable. Early in the lane, you can do some damage, but it really turns on once you have Shadow Ball. Here's a fun little strategic tip. Gengar's Shadow Ball goes through wild Pokemon. It stops at enemy Pokemon, like it just stopped at that Decidueye there, or should I say Rowlet, but it goes through wild Pokemon. So I could throw it through all those Vespiquens and Combees and still hit Rowlet on the other side. Here's another fun little thing. You can use your Unite move to kind of mess with your opponents for a while. So Once I saw this Char's uniting, I'm going to hide from it, obviously, swimming underground using my unite, but then when it's time to fight, right at the last sec here, I will pop out and start attacking everyone. It's not what I do every time, but hiding from a very dangerous unite while the whole while staying around the enemy, letting them know that you are there and they need to worry about you, I think is a great play for Gengar. I think my biggest gameplay tip of all for Gengar is just to remember that your job is to really take down these squishy people on the enemy team. They're attackers. You can get to them, get in the back line, and destroy all of them if you're doing your job as a Gengar. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any thoughts in the comments. There's a lot to say about this Pokemon, but I do think if you run this build with some of these held items and you focus on taking down those squishy attackers, you will be doing a great service for your team. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. Hey, I just got KO'd. What a way to end it. Goodbye, everybody. Mwah.